This is the first craft seminar that we're attempting in what we hope to call the DG Academy, which are seminars that will help you with the craft of being a writer and the business of being a writer. If you have ideas of other seminars you'd like to see in this series, please email me. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Terry Stratton, Director of Education and Outreach at the Dramatists Guild. So you can email me at tstratton@dramatistsguild.com, and we will do our best to get any panel that you are interested in seeing and people that you think would help you with your careers as writers. So hopefully it won't be too disturbing. We do have quite a few people who haven't come yet. I'll try to fit them in as quietly as possible. But now I'm going to turn it over to Roland Tech, who's the Director of Membership at the Dramatists Guild, and he'll also be our moderator tonight. So thank you very much for coming, everybody.
Before I introduce our fantastic panelists, I wanted to share a funny thing that happened to me a few years ago that I have a hunch may not be so unfamiliar to some of the people in this room. A few years ago, I was vacuuming behind my couch, which is something that I don't do very often. And I remember because I was surprised that I actually heard the phone when I was vacuuming behind my couch. But the phone rang and I picked it up, and a nice woman on the other end of the phone said, is Roland Tech there? Yes, this is Roland. Hi, I'm calling from X theater company. I'm in the literary department, and we're very happy to tell you that we have read your play, blah, 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 and we really like it, and we'd like to program it on our upcoming reading series next month. At that point, I thought maybe I had had a stroke, because I didn't remember sending the play to this company, and in the intervening time since I apparently had sent them the play had been rewritten several times, characters had come and gone. The title was even different, which really made it hard for me to register what she was talking about on the other end of the phone. And then I remembered I had had 3 other titles to this play, because I'm a little obsessive about changing titles all the time. So finally, I realized that, oh, she meant the play, yes, the play that I had sent 2 years ago to them. And and that's not so long. And what I think that this illustrates, and what I wanted to just share this because I think we've all been through this, is that we often forget just how completely understaffed and overwhelmed these people are to whom we send our work. And I think this got me thinking about how there are 2 ways to look at it. You can look at the 2 years that you're waiting as terribly frustrating and demoralizing. But on the other hand, in the end, I felt lucky in a way, because in those intervening 2 years, I rewrote the play and made it so much better. And so it actually, in retrospect, was not a bad thing that there was that delay, because then I was actually able to have a better script read. So there is always a silver lining. And I think we do ourselves a disservice when we don't revise before we submit. On the other hand, sometimes you can revise too much. I had a film that I wrote and directed, which opened in New York about a month and a half ago. And in the 6 weeks leading up to the opening of the film, I probably rewrote the synopsis to the film about half a dozen times. And luckily, I had a very patient publicist who would accept these emails from me rewriting the synopsis like every other week. Until finally my phone rang again, and he said, Roland, I have to tell you something, and I hope you won't be upset. Every time you rewrite the synopsis, it gets more and more bland. And I think it's important for us to remember that describing our own work can be the most difficult thing. And we can sometimes be our own worst enemies because we have all sorts of baggage connected to what we've created, right? And it's hard to get rid of that and to describe it in objective terms. And so I think one of the most important things we can do for ourselves as writers is surround ourselves with trusted souls who can be a sounding board for this sort of work, the packaging of our work, the describing of our work. That can be a director that you collaborate with and that you adore. It can be your agent. It can be the actors who generously come to your living room to read the play again and again. It can be your spouse. It can be almost anyone. But I think it's very important. And tonight we have 4 great examples of some really generous and really smart souls who can help us, I think, begin to talk about the issue of how to describe what one has written. So let me just introduce them. We have, third away from me, Linda Chapman. As Associate Artistic Director of New York Theater Workshop, Linda has helped support the work of literally hundreds of local artists through the company's myriad development programs. Like almost everybody up here, I think, Linda is a polymath. She's worked as a director, she's worked as a performer, and a playwright. Most recently, she co-wrote with Kate Moira Ryan the GLAAD award-winning Bebo Brinker Chronicles. Linda's also an Obie Award winner for Gertrude and Alice, A Likeness to Loving, which she co-wrote and co-starred in with Lola Pashalinski. Right next to me here is Nancy Golladay. Nancy is a faculty member of the BMI Lehman Engel Musical Theater Workshop, where she moderates the librettists group and is widely rumored to be one of the wisest people around. Nancy, too, has an eclectic background. She has worked as a literary consultant to a whole slew of festivals, including New York Shakespeare, the O'Neill, Stratford, many others. She's also worked as a stage manager for Paul Sills and as a lighting designer for Merce Cunningham Dance Studio. In 2006 and 2007, the BMI Workshop won awards from the Drama League, the Drama Desk, and the Tony Honors for its history of developing new musical theater writers. Next to Nancy is Jeni Mahoney. Jeni Mahoney is a playwright. Her work has been produced or workshopped all over the country, including here locally at theaters such as The Lark and Rattlestick. She is the founding artistic director of Seven Devils Playwrights Conference, which takes place in mid-June in McCall, Idaho every year. Seven Devils has an open submission policy. They review all plays submitted, not just synopses. They read the whole play. And the lucky winning playwrights are hosted for 2 weeks. Transportation is provided. They are fed. They even have access to a car. These people love playwrights. They're crazy about playwrights. Their deadline, sadly, is in December, so you'll have to make a mental note. Jeni is also co-artistic director of ID Theater, and she was recently named head of the playwriting program at Playwrights Horizons Theater School.